Hi everyone, welcome back to Astro Sun Gazer. I'm your host Carrie, also known as Painted Night Owl Feather. I am coming here today to do the astrological tarot report for November 2016. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you everyone so much for welcoming me into your home and welcoming me into your heart. I really appreciate all the love and affection I've gotten since I started doing these. It really means a lot to me. Probably one of the reasons why I held back quite a long time from doing them was, everybody wants to be received well. So I put my fears aside, and it's been a wonderful blessing since I started this, and I'm going to continue. On to that exciting stuff I've got going on. Let me tell you, the energy is just pumping up. But number one, thank you for the beautiful soul that wrote on my comments about the deck that I was using. This is a picture of DNA. I hope you can see this much better now. This is by James Wanless, and it's called the Voyager deck. And I'm super excited because I made contact with him. He was so nice and so helpful, and actually offered to send me the book. So I'm just thrilled to death that I got to meet with him, and that also leads me to, it's just one of the most important things is to say thank you to everybody out there. So before I get too far into what I've got going on, a big shout out to Astro. They welcomed me. You can go to astrojar.com. Some of the best readers are on there. They're so much fun, and they're so vibrant and wonderful, and I really enjoy all the readings and everybody that's attached to that. It's growing every day. So also a shout out to Marie Moore, and partnership with her in Astrojar through Minopon. So look them up on YouTube. They're wonderful. I can't even tell you. I'm about to jump out of my skin, excited to be even thinking, the beginnings of collaborating with these people, because they're wonderful and they're so enlightening, and they've helped me so much, and they've helped me grow. And that's what we're all here to do, is just to help one another grow. So anyway, the next thing I wanted to tell you about, which is so super exciting, since I opened this door and decided that I would step through this Astro Tarot journey and bring my gifts out and start sharing them. I also had the pleasure of having a good friend of mine who's very spiritually enlightened, and I love her. I've known her since I was a child. She came in for a visit out of town, and when she came, I said I wanted to use my child's play cards, and I had gotten this new deck, and I hadn't really played with it much, but I had the feeling that I wanted to use it on her. So I opened it up and brought it out, and she said, "Oh, that's funny. That looks like a friend of mine that's in a group of mine, a group that I'm in on Facebook." And it looked like her artwork. Well, sure enough, it was. It was the great Paulina Cassidy, of all people. I can't even tell you how excited I got. I mean, thrilling. And I'll have to cut this deck because I'm going to pull this card and show it to you. But this is the back of her cards, but this is the front of her card. Will you look at the imagery? Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. Yes, I love her artwork. I have always loved her artwork. Just phenomenal, just phenomenal. So actually, maybe because that was on the top of the deck, we'll keep that one as the overlying energies for this particular intro, because it's temperance. It's basically speaking to all of us. We have to be tempered, right? Um, Pottery doesn't become fine china until it's been fired in a certain way, and I think that's kind of what we're going through. So maybe that was a message from her. Temperance for all of us to measure everything we've got going on. But I am going to put it back in the deck. Anyway, very exciting. Today I am going to be doing a reading for each of the signs. I decided that it was nice to do the one video, probably a little easier on me, but Everybody's been so wonderful with me, and I felt like it's Halloween, and I'm not going to go out and trick-or-treating or anything like that. We're going to probably hand out candy here, but that's about it. So I thought, well, might as well do a bigger reading for everybody. It is pretty heavy, thick, sticky energy. I did notice when I was shuffling my cards earlier, I smudged them and I crystalled all of them, and I pre-shuffled everything so that we can get some nice clear energy, because I know everything's so thick and so sketchy. So I noticed that with the cards that they were really having a hard time shuffling. They the energy is just thick and heavy. So I just gave these a quick reshuffle, and maybe that temperance card will come back up for somebody. Maybe it won't. Anyway, happy Halloween, everyone. This is your intro, and I'm going to go ahead and get going with everybody's video. Have a great day. Enjoy this month. Try to dig deep and do the work that we all have to do to get this earth back on track to where we can live abundantly with it instead of against it. So that's the message of the day, and I wanted to use the word Minnetonka with you also, in case you don't know what Minnetonka is. It's great water, and water is consciousness. So we're in a battle for it out in the Dakotas, but we're in a battle for it all over the world, and we all need to come together, band together, brothers and sisters as one, and bring the light back to this earth. Hi, Gemini, my wonderful twin friends. How are you today? Thank you for being here. I am ready to pull your cards. We're using the James Landless, Cassidy, Helen Cassidy's cards, Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue, and Doreen Virtue's beautiful fairy deck with Bradley Valentine. I got it right this time, remembering. So, Gemini. You got a little bit going on in the world of Saturn and Venus. Saturn's at 14 degrees and Venus is at 16 degrees of Sagittarius, and that's your opposite. So you might be having some trouble trying to figure out what in the world these two are doing here. You got the old man and the young virgin. So how are they going to help you heal? You have to use all your wisdom, all your strength, all your tools, and you have to use your charm, your eloquence, and your truth-seeking abilities, Gemini. There it is. That's the message from the stars. The first card that we have today is Synergy, Six of Worlds. So, there you are, the alchemist, the one that's able to embody two different personalities and still exist as one. And isn't this what we're trying to do collectively, right? So that's your card all day. This is what you've been. This is what you've been. This is who you are. This is what you've been doing. You've been playing magician as well. Wow. You've gone into the underworld and you've picked out what matters, and you're taking all these pieces. I don't know if you can see that very well or not. It's back to that synergy. You've been able to be the ultimate alchemist with your energy. And and the lovers. Look at what a cute little symbol they are. I want to make some little claymation people like that. I think that's adorable. You've been able to embrace yourself and both sides of yourself very well. The feeling, emotional side, the dry, icy side, detached side. You've been able to break barriers. But I think this is about yourself, because I'm doing readings for individual sun signs. So I don't get the feeling that this card depicts big love and romance. I think the love and romance is within you. The love of being integrated. The love of being in a dual being, a spirit being and a flesh being, and you've mastered that really well, and that's wonderful to see. You can show a lot of people the way, Gemini. Um, a lot of people don't want to integrate themselves; they're afraid of their dark side, but you're not. You know exactly how to use it, when to use it, and that's great. Oh, these Paulina cards. The Seven of Cups. So, here you are with all of these options, all of these things that take your attention, that make you think, that make you move, that make you emotionally available to others. There's all these different things coming at you, and you're not sure which one to choose from. You've got the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is having all these things that you've built up. You've made something out of nothing. And then you have the Six of Cups. Let me show you the Nine of Wands first. That was an interesting card. He built all that stuff up, all by his little self. There's the Seven of Cups. All these cups. Her nose kind of in the air. She's not really sure which one belongs to her and which one doesn't. She wants to make the right decision for everyone involved, though. And it looks like the reason why is because she knows that she's here to nurture and love and protect. She's meant to give sustenance. Okay? She's built all these layers within herself that allow her to be compassionate, for him to be compassionate. So that's wonderful. You've learned a lot and grown a lot. Next card we have from the angels is children. Do you have children? If you don't have children, maybe you want children. Maybe you'll have children soon. Maybe you need to embody your childlike qualities. Notice there's two in here. And they look identical. So maybe that is just a symbol for the Gemini. Because you're getting ready to head and integrate into your spirit being as well, and that's going to give you that spiritual growth that you've been looking for. You're going to be seeking it. It's going to be here soon. It's on its way. So that you can truly surrender and release. Look at that. You can't hold on to things that don't fit you anymore, that don't serve your highest calling. So that opposite being of Sagittarius, it's letting go of the things that are keeping you from realizing your grandness and how wonderful you are, and how malleable. You know, you're a mutable sign, and you can embody all kinds of different traits at a will, at your will. So now that you've become the ultimate alchemist, and you know that it's all for love, it's okay to have that spiritual growth and go back to your childlike wonder and let go of the things that don't serve you. It's okay. You can do that. The universe is going to support you to do that. And the next card. This is great. Ooh, I'm happy. This is what's on its way. Six of Spring. Wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring reward, success, and public recognition. So, people will see you make these changes. People will see you integrate yourself, and you will be richly rewarded for it by I believe that the Geminis are the truth seekers. I believe that they ultimately only care about the truth, and it's not for love, and it's not for money. And the truth is the truth, and that's really all they want. That's all that they can work with. They're very light beings, and they are an air sign as well. So they're about the thought. They're about the collective consciousness. Look at how gorgeous this card is. Unreal. Look at her on her high horse, and look at how her horse is all decorated so beautifully. And the next card we have is the Eight of Spring. Since stress comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events, or changes. This is the Eight of Spring. So it looks like you're going to be able to juggle it all. It looks like you know what you're doing. You have precision. Yes, there might be a lot of things happening, but you kind of like having good energy anyway, Gemini, let's face it. You two people in one, you can outwork anybody. You're like, you can cut through the bullshit in no time at all. So there might be a sudden event that maybe throws you off a little bit. Let's see if I can show you this. There's a daisy right up there. Everything else is like a snowball. So you weren't expecting this daisy. You weren't expecting some event, but just keep juggling like you do. Just keep, keep. Don't get too upset over that, because we're all kind of in that position of having to deal with a lot of things that we weren't prepared for. I'm sure you weren't prepared for the old man and the pretty girl to show up at your doorstep and say, "How may I serve your psychology?" I mean, like, nobody would be, and we're all getting a dose of it. So it's not just you. Um, you know, you're being told to look at that right now, to examine that. So I'm sure you will. And your next card is the Three of Winter. It's a pretty card. Look at how happy the bear is to be there with him. Reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from the situation. Sadness that will heal with time. So that sudden event, if that really rocks your world, don't worry. You will get through it. You're supported behind you, and you have good company that wants to be there. See, you have people to rely on. You have people that you can depend on to help you get through any trying time. I mean, yes, if you have a lot to do, maybe once you're celebrated, it puts you in with a lot of things to do. And then you have to let go of things that you don't want to let go of. Back to the surrender and release. Maybe, you're like, oh, but I didn't want to lose that. Maybe it was a job, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was money, maybe it could have been any number of things, but whatever doesn't suit you anymore has to go, and it's for your highest good. It's like taking your medicine, I suppose, in November for you, and all the Scorpio energy, we're all being asked to dive deep and figure out what doesn't belong to us. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Geminis being truth seekers that you are, and you are doing it for the good of everybody involved. You are. That's the only thing that you want. So, if it was something that you had your heart set on, just realize the attachment right now is illusory. We really don't have any control, and we have to just allow these things, and the more graceful we can be about them, and the more pleasant we can be about accepting the things that we have to accept, the faster the energy moves for all of us, and then we don't have to come back to that spot. So Gemini. I love my Geminis. My grandmother was a Gemini, and I really appreciate you all. And I hope that you have a wonderful November. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below or email me at astrosungazer. I'd love to hear from you and support you during this time. You do have support. So if you need to hear from me at all, if you have any questions for me, that'd be wonderful to hear from you. And have a great holiday.